Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. He's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
We're live, my friends. Thank you so much for joining us on this Thursday, the 17th day of February, 2011, live broadcast. Former high-level federal government official, of course, headed up large divisions of HUD, will be joining us, Catherine Austin Fitts, on the economy and what the globalists are up to, their latest activity. She'll be joining us in the last hour today. We're probably going to have Ray McGovern on. He was beaten up yesterday live on CNN for standing up during a Hillary Rodham Clinton speech and turning his back to her. And so even if he's unable to join us today, Ray McGovern will be popping in, obviously, in the next few days. But we'll be able to play that video and audio here for you. Former high-level CIA analyst George Herbert Walker Bush and Ronald Reagan before him. So we're going to have Ray McGovern coming on. He got beat up pretty bad and cut and bruised and did not resist the security guard goons. So that is coming up. Also, the federal government, every few days now, I see headlines like 10,000 websites shut down, 84,000 websites shut down. It's every few days now. And they just put these messages up where your website used to be. But with 84,000 websites that were on a giant server platform system where their domain names were registered and where they were also serving their websites from. This was lawn mowing companies, pool companies, eBay sellers. I mean, the list went on. And it put up a message saying this site's been taken down for child porn. No judge, no jury, no conviction. And it turns out it's a mistake, but the feds are still keeping their websites. So they're beta testing the internet kill switch right now. And you talk about lawsuits, but the feds don't care. They control the courts. And even if they lose, they'll just use taxpayer money to pay that off. There's the headline. U.S. anti-child pornography operation accidentally shuts down 84,000 websites and put the message on the front page. Imagine you've got a pool cleaning company, you've got a car dealership. I mean, it happened to, there's a list of them. It's incredible. You've got a site that sells Beanie Babies. You got a site that sells pocket knives. You got a site that sells, you name it, oil paintings. It doesn't matter. And your customers go there to look about an order they've made or to shop or to see if they want to call you to come mow their lawn, and there's a message that you are a child pornographer. Oh, I mean, this is the ham-fisted tyranny of a mega government in your face. So we're going to be breaking all of that down as well today. Now, remember, earlier this week, we covered the Business Insider report. Wisconsin National Guard preps for worker unrest after governor unveils emergency budget. And now it is being likened to the situation in Egypt, what is now unfolding in Wisconsin. This is a beta test as well. As the protest and demonstrations begin to unfold via austerity around the United States, like we've seen in the Middle East and in Europe, they're now beta testing the rollout of selling the public on having their benefits cut. So I've got some details that I want to go over on that front as well here today. A lot of important economic news. Glenn Beck is now coming out and saying boycott Google. It is all coming up today. Please stay with us right here on the GCN Radio Network, GCNlive.com. Hundreds of nations have fallen to tyranny in the last century alone. This is our last chance to not relive history.
As they're finishing off this agenda, they'll be pulling the rug from underneath Americans at home.
I have tremendous influence on our president and Congress, and they really are calling the shots.
I think it's incumbent upon all of us as American citizens to pay attention.
Fall of the Republic identifies the enemies of our nation, the criminal offshore cartel, hell-bent on destroying sovereignty, and on its ashes constructing world government.
Tim Geithner, Bernanke, they're arsonists. They're asking for more matches. And the Congress is saying, who do we make the check out to?
Today seems like nobody does care. And right now in Washington, D.C., we have seen a fall of the Republic.
Get your copy of Fall of the Republic on DVD at Infowars.com or watch it online right now in super high quality at prisonplanet.tv.
Alex told you the government announced recently that the recession is over. It ended on June of 2009. The millions of Americans unable to find work might not agree. Perhaps the recession ended for the bankers and government employees, but for the rest of us, things seem to be getting worse. Gold and silver haven't heard the news either. They've begun their long-expected journey to the moon. In addition to converting your shrinking dollars into gold and silver, you should consider a food savings account from eFoods Direct. They both make fabulous investments. Food is our greatest dependency, and we know it will be more precious than any financial resource. You and your family need food to survive a crisis, and you can't eat paper, stocks, or metals. Alex has been urging you to invest in delicious, easy-fix meals to enjoy now or save for long-term. This will freeze the cost of your food while you can still afford it. Visit efoodsdirect.com on the internet or call 800-409-5633. That's efoodsdirect.com or 800-409-5633.
A very wealthy U.S. citizen is predicting that in 2011, we will witness the most important day in America in more than 50 years. He says it will change everything about our lives. The way you shop, travel, invest, educate your children, and even how you take care of your health and your own family. Now, this man has made some outrageous predictions over the years. The crazy part is, he's usually right. You see, he predicted the collapse of GM, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, and America's biggest mall owner, General Growth Properties. In fact, Barron's called his work a dire prophecy. Recently, he created a video, which you can watch online for free, detailing his biggest and most important prediction yet. And it's a real eye-opener. I can't stress this enough. You should at least watch this free video online today. He explains everything you need to know, including simple steps you can take to protect yourself. You can find the video at www.endofamerica3.com. That's endofamerica, the number 3.com. Watch the free video at www.endofamerica3.com. That's endofamerica3.com.
Genesis Communications Radio Network proudly presents The Alex Jones Show, because there's a war on for your mind.
It's like watching prophecy unfold. Everything the globalists have promised to do to the once free societies that make up human civilization is being carried out in an orchestrated, focused, highly choreographed way. But at the same time, the resistance is mounting at a level that the globalists in their own white papers admit they did not expect. So the battle is joined. Thank you for joining us. It is the 17th day of February, 2011 on this live Thursday edition. Catherine Austin Fitz, former high-level government official in HUD, will be joining us to get into the economy, the continued implosion in the housing market, and her forecast joining us in the last hour. Former high-level CIA analyst was beaten up for simply standing up and turning his back to Hillary Clinton. You don't do that to a god. And we're working on getting him to pop in on the show. McGovern bloodied and arrested at Clinton's speech. So we're working on getting him to pop in during the broadcast today. Looking at economic news, downgrades loom for U.S. states. And that means that the borrowing prices, just like third world countries, have high borrowing rates when they borrow fiat currency from the bankers. So now the states, if you think they're already bankrupt, just wait as they are downgraded. We're going to be breaking that down Just wait till the U.S. is fully downgraded worldwide. Hu Jintao, the G20, and others are helping downgrade the psychology and support of the dollar right now ahead of its actual death as the world reserve currency. That if folks think the economy is bad off now, you ain't seen nothing yet. If the treasonous, treacherous globalists running our nation are able to basically complete their operation. Also, Bloomberg reporting consumer prices in U.S. climb more than forecast on food and fuel. Gold is also exploding. And again, that all orbits the fact that the dollar is devaluing. England did have a 3.8% inflation rate. Now this year it's set to be 4% and expanding. Not per month, that's per year. I misread that a few days ago on the show, so that's a correction right there. But the issue is it's stagflation. England has a much lower growth rate. What is it, about 2% versus the 4% inflation. So that is stagflation that we haven't seen since the 1970s, and that's a bellwether of what's going to happen here in the United States. And remember, it's always worse than what we're even hearing because governments are on record cooking the numbers when it comes to what real inflation and unemployment numbers are. So continuing, consumer prices in U.S. climb more than forecast. Fed officials split on stimulus, disappointed on growth. We're going to be going over that in more detail with Catherine Austin Fitts coming up today. Obviously, we're going to give you the latest developments here in just a few minutes on protests spreading in Bahrain. At least 2 dead in crackdown. Also, ABC's Miguel Marquez has been roughed up. Death reports vary. And they're reporting that the ABC reporter got hit with a billy club and had his camera taken. Of course, reportedly, one of the other big CBS reporters, they didn't tell us until yesterday, but reportedly last Friday in Cairo, was raped by 200 men. The problem is, if anybody's a globalist operative, it's that poor woman. And so they said that Anderson Cooper got beaten up severely. He got slapped on the back of the head a few times. So are they saying 200 men grabbed on her? That, of course, is terrible. Or did 200 men actually rape her? That would take quite a bit of time for 200 men to rape her. Let's say 1 minute per man, 200 minutes. I don't believe it. I'm just going to put it to you that way. I think it's another quasi-hoax. She probably did get beaten up, may have even been raped, and the media just goes with the 200 number. And if you don't think the media won't run hoaxes, remember, it broke yesterday at Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. It did become the #1 Google search term, and this probably hit bigger than any other Google search bomb we've ever launched. Conservatively, over 100 major publications picked up the story of Fox News dirty tricks against Ron Paul. And the search term, of course, was Fox News caught. And even major newspapers went with our headline, didn't give us any credit, but that's fine. I don't care. If you just joined us and don't know what happened, they got Ron Paul on several days after the CPAC poll was announced that he was the winner on Friday. They got him on Tuesday, and they said to Ron Paul, hey, watch this clip. And they played a clip of him being declared the winner at CPAC and said, look, you got booed. What do you think of that? And it turns out it was last year's CPAC. That itself was staged. On record, we wrote about it. They only let Mitt Romney supporters in to the hall and then put a microphone in the crowd with them so they could boo when Ron Paul was announced the winner. And so that was a staged event last year. This year, they just replayed over and over again on Fox over the weekend and then again this week on multiple shows, including a show that he was on, Mr. Hemmer, the anchor of that hour, and said, well, you got booed this week. What do you think of that? And Ron Paul said, well, some people still don't like liberty. Well, it turns out that was all fake and a re-airing of last year's video. So Fox News dirty trick against Ron Paul is no mistake. That's the latest article out by Paul Joseph Watson at PrisonPlanet.com and Infowars.com, and it goes over all the details. In a statement Fox Senior Vice President of News, Michael Clement, attempted to diffuse the growing controversy over the incident by claiming it was all a harmless broadcasting error that we've now confirmed they aired over and over again. We made a mistake with some of the video we aired and plan on issuing a correction on America's Newsroom tomorrow morning, explaining exactly